Good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here to join you this morning. Let me quickly correct something that I was the Dean Student Affairs in my university for 4 years, then admission chairman committee for 4 years. But presently, my current status is the Dean School of Postgraduate Studies. Presently,
Thank you.
University.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So go ahead and answer the question,
Now,
sir. Yeah.
Coming back to the question, the situation presently on ground is not palatable. It's not palatable in terms of communication, the way our politicians are addressing the electorate. If you look at the instance of Osun State recently, you will see that before even the election, we experienced violent communication to the extent that it got to the peak where a certain set of people from a particular political party they were telling their followers to start killing the other party members, whose ours is God. This situation was so disheartening. Then one cannot believe that even the election will be as peaceful as we witnessed. But thank God that people were able to stand firm to defend their votes, and we're all happy with the outcome of the election. What I'm trying to say is that despite the fact that about 15 governors of the ruling party came to that state, saying all sorts of violent words against the incumbents, the people were able to stand their ground that this is the direction they want to go, and they indeed stood firm to defend their votes. And this is encouraging, and it's a kind of signal to every one of us concerning the forthcoming election in January 2027.
Right.
I want us to learn something in Nigeria, especially the way our communicators, especially the spokesmen for the governors and even the presidents, were handling the communication aspect of it is not encouraging. I can see that most of them are not professionals. The approach given to the national issues, approach given to the yearnings and the worries of the people, it's like they are trying to to fight people that talk against the activities of government, particularly those in the presidency. They don't strategize themselves to be somebody that will be talking for the activities of the government.
Right.
Strategically. I think their defense supposed to be issue-based. As you are moving into the turbulent water of political activities, all the politicians presently, even their spokesmen, supposed to be issue-based. I can see the way. I don't want to be partisan. I'm not a politician.
Yes.
But I want to be objective in my approach. The spokesmen for the incumbent president, they are not up and doing. They are not doing enough. I watched Professor Oloruntobah, the finance minister, What's the name of that?
Taiwo Oyedele. Taiwo Oyedele.
Yes.
Mr. Taiwo Oyedele. Yes.
Taiwo Oyedele. The way he presented the scorecard of the federal government concerning the finances, one was impressed.
Right.
Though there are certain misappropriations, there are certain
questions,
things, areas, questions raised by people, but that notwithstanding, in terms of macroeconomy of the nation,
right,
this government has done well.
And Professor Ojo, let me quickly come in here. You said that from your assessment of those handling the communication for the president and some state governors that they don't understand what it takes to manage the communication of a leading figure like that. So I mean, that's a bit surprising, because these are individuals that some of us look up to, especially in this journalism industry. I mean, when you say these are legends, some of them are legends actually from the print, broadcast media. So you think that they have a basic understanding of what it means to handle the communication aspects of the press. So what do you think is missing here? Is it that they tend to be reactive because they've now been in a position where they have to defend the government no matter what, or there is that they are not how do I say now, they are distant from the reality on ground? Because I recall Mr. Bayo Onanuga, a statement about the hunger thing, the fact that he interacts with his workers. I mean, Mr. Bayo Onanuga is a veteran in this field, for instance. So what do you think is missing here?
Toba.
Yes.
Please, let me crave your indulgence.
Right.
Before Prof answers the question.
Through the training.
Prof,
please hold on. The legal practitioner. Please hold on, sir.
Yeah, Prof,
yes.
Please. Could you please hold on so that I can inject this into what you have just submitted? The political parties and their presidential candidates recently signed a peace accord.
Hello,
can you hear me?
Yes. You said they recently signed a peace accord.
They recently signed a peace accord.
Yes.
Where they agreed that their campaigns and everything will be, conducted peacefully.
Yeah.
Now, we have also advocated, like my prof submitted, that their campaigns be issue-based. But unfortunately, and most unacceptable, the reaction of the presidency to the alternative proffered by Atiku Abubakar on subsidy, I felt that was not good enough, and that was not a good sign. That these parties and their candidates, particularly those who surround the president, are keeping to the peace accord. Why insult Atiku Abubakar? Why call him ignorant? Why call him desperate? And all of those unprintable adjectives,
right.
Just for raising an alternative to government's program.
Okay, so we'll take a break now, Professor Ojo. We'll take a break. I assume you've noted those questions down. When we get back, you respond to those questions. It's the Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Fueling your vitality the whole day through. Embrace each challenge with renewed might. With Supermalt, your performance takes flight.
With 20 essential vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, one Supermalt multivitamin after breakfast every day keeps you going.
Wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀. N ò lè ṣaláì má panilẹ́rìn lákòókò àpéjọpọ̀ ìtakùrọ̀sọ orí ìlà mọ̀lẹ́bí mi.
Ó tiẹ̀ da ohun tí gbogbo wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni mò ń sè.
Ó náà ni àmì ìdánimọ̀ mi ti ṣe Maggi native jollof rice. ìtọ́wò ẹ̀kan lásán àròyé kankan ò sí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀.
Maggi Star tá a ṣe látara ẹ̀wà sóyà àlùbọ́sà adùn chili àti kànáfùrù.
Oúnjẹ alẹ́ ti délẹ̀ ẹ máa bọ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ tàbí kí ẹ má wá rárá.
Maggi Star yóò sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a ṣe dohun àrà ọ̀tọ̀ yóò sì tún sọ àkókò náà dàkókò mánigbàgbé.
I am malaria, the king of malaria parasites. My mission is simple, to take over your body, to cause fever, chills, headache. But one thing stands in my way.
Effective relief from malaria. Comal on, malaria gone. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult doctor.
Ladies and gentlemen, the bride and groom are about to cut the cake.
It's about to go down.
What?
My love, wetin happen?
Before I marry you, the TV where you promise, the fridge nko, where it is? Washing machine nko, will I be using my hands to wash clothes in 2026?
Cancel this wedding. Relax, everybody. Who said I must buy everything once? I use CDK. CDK? Yes, so I dey pay small. Fridge, washing machine, even solar system. Now CDK.
So all those things don't already dey house?
Abba, since last month.
Pastor, continue the wedding.
Walk on down, join together. Why stress yourself? Get phones, TVs, solar appliances, furniture, and more on CDK. Pay small. Zero interest, normal market price. Download CDK today.
Visit us at Mokola Road, Veterinary Bus Stop, and Akwata inside Sanctuary Filling Station. For more inquiries, please call 0707 460 3911.
CDK. Pay small. Live big.
Before, my family can go 1 week without drama. 1 week, one wahala. Maggie, oh, love, oh, me and Maggie so good together. Yeah, okay, now my Maggie make you right. Come with peace, oh, oh, no, come at all, oh, before, Maggie, oh, love, oh, me and Maggie so good together. Together.
Francis, mo gbọ́ pé o tún ti open store míì sí ọjà Alẹ́sìn lọ́yẹ́. Irú ọgbọ́n wo ló ń dá sí? Èmi ò rówó tajà.
Ilé ìfowópamọ́ aláṣìírí Women Microfinance Bank ni aláṣìírí mi. Pẹ̀lú àwọn ètò ìyáwó wọn bíi bẹ̀ẹ̀ta mọ́ni. Oṣù kan sí oṣù méjìlá ni wọ́n fi dá owó tí o bá yá padà. Pẹ̀lú ìdá mẹ́tàbọ̀ 3.5% lóṣooṣù. Èké tún wà fáwọn olókoòwò ńláńlá àti olókoòwò kéékèèké. SME loan nìyẹn. Oṣù méjìlá ló fi dá padà. Salary advance loan fún gbogbo òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba àti òṣìṣẹ́ aládàáni. Oṣù méjìlá gbáko ni wọ́n fi dá padà. Pẹ̀lú ìdá mẹ́ta àbí ìdá mẹ́tàbọ̀ 3% sí 3.5%. Àǹfààní àti máṣe ìlé orí owó rẹ tún wà. Bọ́ ọ bá rọ gbogbo ẹ̀ papọ̀. Yẹn ni interest waiver tàbí overdraft. Oṣù kan tàbí oṣù mẹ́ta ni ó fi dá owó tí o bá yá padà. Pẹ̀lú ìdá mẹ́ta àtàbọ̀ 3.5% owó tó o bá yá. Láàárín wákàtí méjìdínláàádọ́ta 48 hours. Owó tó o fẹ́ yá yóò ti jáde. Fún àlàyé lẹ́kùnrẹ́ 0707 313 5538. WhatsApp 0908 796 6284. Website www.gumimfb.com. Olú ilé-iṣẹ́ wọn wà ní 160 Ọjọ́ U High Road, Olóró bus stop, Ọjọ́, Ìbàdàn. Àdéhùn àti ìlànà ń tẹ̀lé wa.
Home is where we find comfort in hearts that love that's shared.
Shared meals like delicious jollof and chicken.
Made with hunger. Home is hearts and bellies filled with sizzling chicken stew, ofoha eforivo, jollof rice, pepper soup, proper banga and starch, with fresh fish made with hunger.
That's why we say, let's go home. There's food at home.
Enjoy the taste of home with the newly approved Onga Chicken Flavor Cube.
The taste of home.
Kò ní sú mi kò ní rẹ̀.
Má jẹ́ ó sú ẹ láti máa gbọ́ wa àti láti tẹ̀lé wa lórí gbogbo ìkànnì ìbánidọ́rẹ̀ẹ́ 32FM 949 ẹ̀yìn ẹ̀.
Kò ní sú mi kò ní rẹ̀.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni.
32FM 94.9.
Safasa pelisizo simnyama. Iwasafa.
Welcome back. The Podium, 32FM 94.9. Remember, we're live on Facebook, 32FM 949 Fenya. You can also listen to us live via MixLR, TuneIn.com, and Radio Garden. If you're just joining us, we're discussing the campaign season that have kick-started, the style of communications for our politicians, and agenda setting really to dictate the tone of the 2027 election. Our guest is Professor Titiloyo Yinka Ojo, Professor of Mass Communications and the Dean of Postgraduate School at Kolada University here in Ibadan. So, Prof, thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. I did say that we'll go on the break and come back to respond to the questions. So 2 questions on the table. They want to ask you about the background of these people, handling the communication of the president and governors, that what is missing there, and then what Barrister also asked you as well regarding the president's reaction to Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, who has said that he wants to return the subsidy regime. That the president says this is it shows ignorance of Atiku Abubakar regarding governance and economic issues. Prof.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Let me start with the issue of peace accord signed in Abuja. The peace accord was signed in Osun State too, as they used to do in every other state where elections is going to be held. Even after the signing of the peace accord, we all know what transpired in Osun State before the election. I don't want to mention him. A senator ordered his followers to start killing other party members then. What was the effect of the peace accord that they signed? The one they signed in Abuja recently, I can see a gap there as raised by Omoyele, that they were signing peace accord, but there is a missing point, and the missing point is justice. What are they doing concerning justice? If they sign the peace accord, and after all, another sad incident happened, killing, violence here and there, those alleged to be behind this violence that is done to them, are they ready to prosecute them? Are they ready to follow the act of this peace accord that they are signing? These are the issues. If the government is not ready to approach this the way they're supposed to approach them, then what is the hope of having free and fair election in 2027? Concerning Atiku issue, politics is all about the agogories and sepulchre. Politics will always be abusive. But what we are saying is that even most people that find themselves in the game, they are completely ignorant of the norms of politics. Because if they are not ignorant, if somebody is calling the strong opposition presidential candidate ignorant, that the person is ignorant, that is desperate, that he doesn't know, he just want to get there by all means, then that is not strategic communication again. What are your points that you raise that this person is not fit? Every politician must be desperate to get to that position. That is why you are out to serve your people. You are desperate to correct wrongs in the society. And there are ways of going about it. You try to identify the weaknesses of those that are in government. What are those things that they are doing wrong that you want to come to correct? I think that is exactly what Atiku is trying to point out. Not only Atiku, Obi too. Obi have been pointing out the weaknesses of this present government severally, telling them how to do it, what to do at a particular point in time. But unfortunately, those that are speaking for the presidency, for this government, they are not getting it right. I was watching an interview with the National Public Relations Officer of APC recently. What he was saying about the opposition is not something to write home about. On several words against them, I expected him to start lining up what this government had done, that these people are attacking, and how they will better the situation. But rather than getting too abusive concerning what he said, there's no way a government will stop people from talking.
Right.
We continue to talk, to tell them what they are doing wrongly and how they should do it rightly. I can see this government, they are not ready to listen to the clarion call of the people of Nigeria. Right. I was listening.
Hello, Prof. Yeah.
To Professor Abdullahi, telling the government, talking to power concerning the macro situation of our people in this country. People are suffering. People cannot eat 3 square meals a day. And we are talking about the macro aspect of it that the bourgeoisie in this nation are enjoying on a daily basis. That the government should come down to serve the people that voted them too. And the way the spokespersons in the presidency took him up was so sad that the man is trying to derail their government. The man is trying to pull down their government, couple that he has been hired as a spin doctor. No. Governance should not be run like that. We have identified those areas they've performed well, but all the other areas that they have not done well, people should tell them, and they should have listening ears.
Right. Okay, Professor Ojo. Professor Ojo, I mean, I asked you one question earlier about what is missing for these spokespersons. Because, as I said, this is before we go to Professor Ayede now. As I said, a number of them are veterans in this field, right? Even before they were appointed into their various positions. So what do you think is missing here that is making them not get the kind of communication that you've outlined for us?
Thank you. You see, train the trainers. They fail to update themselves. Communication is developing on a daily basis. What they are doing, we call it strategic communication. That is to say, you just have to be tactical in talking to people when issues are raised concerning your government. Issue should be approached in an appropriate way, even with data. Strategic communication is a special area for special people. You are not just abusive in your approach. If somebody, your critic, raise issue, go back to the drawing board, read very well, compare it to international happenings, and come out with your data. You just have to be issue-based.
Right.
So that people will understand that you are trained, you know what you are saying. You will agree with me that sometimes ago, one international reporter took one of the spokesperson of the president. I don't want to mention him.
Yeah, Daniel Bwala. I mean, it's all over the internet. Daniel Bwala. I mean, it's yes. Mehdi Hassan. Yes.
Show him several weaknesses of his rhetorics. You said this, today you change. You said that, today you change. You said this, today you change. Reduce him to dust. When you are not chameleon. So if you are not trained for this work, you can't do it perfectly.
Right. So let's go to Professor Ayede now. Let's go to Professor Ayede. Prof? Hello, Prof. Are you with us?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, sir. Yeah.
You know, I'm very happy that Professor Ojo talks about training. But what you find is that each time somebody becomes governor, the next person they will choose as their spokesperson are journalists.
Yes.
Many of them who are either mostly in the print media.
Yes.
Are you suggesting that practice in the print media is not sufficient to play that role? Or don't you think that the way they go about it in a very combative and boisterous manner is actually what the politicians want? Take, for instance, the spokesperson for YUSUF. His attitude is a completely boisterous approach, such that
yes, Larry.
Yeah, Larry. So that we've been here before, and I know how barrister engaged
Yes,
and all of
yes,
that.
yes,
So
yes.
I think that the politicians prefer people who are that boisterous, who can shake the table, who can be very shameless and can just say anything on behalf of the politician and let loose. They don't care. So they don't want people who are gentlemanly, people who are professional, who want to do things with finesse, those kind of things. So I don't think it's a problem of training. I think it's a preference.
It's a strategy in itself. It's a strategy in itself.
Yeah. What do you think? Yeah.
Professor Ojo.
Yes. We have had people that have done it perfectly in the past before. We have Reuben Abati during Jonathan regime. He may has his own flaws. During that time, there's no one that is perfect. But to a greater extent, it was better. I've never met Reuben Abati before. I've never had anything, but I met him in conferences. The one that spoke for the vice president that time during the Buhari regime,
Laolu Akande,
to had that finesse. And in his approach throughout the tenure of Osibajo, he was able to balance the situation very well, to go with me. I don't know why some of these people from the media, probably they need to start attending seminars, workshops, discussions of professionals that will guide them to be more, decent in the way they approach governance. Like Olayinka, Wike spokesperson, has been in a tumultuous situation that is not good for somebody from the media portraying the image of the media in that dark situation. It's not good. If your boss is doing something wrongly, that is why you are selected as the spokesperson. Internally, you can correct your boss rather than disgracing yourself in the public. If you are defending something that is wrong, people are educated ignorant. You may come from the press. You may be a popular jingo as a reporter. You may get to political communication and fumble. If you put money at the front, I'm not saying in order to let me say to dress your boss the way people would like to see him, you may be missing road. You may get it wrong professionally. You may continue to dent your own image by the time you are through with the political assignment. You see,
we've talked about the side of the government. Let's look at the side of the opposition, because I watched the 2023 elections very closely, by virtue of my job. And one of the things people talked about is how the opposition framed their campaign. So there are some people who feel like there was this fixation on the personality of Bola Tinubu as opposed to the issues on the ground. Because I recall there was so much conversation about his health status, his educational background, his past in the United States. These issues dominated pre-election and post-election matters, even went all the way to the election petition. So, and it looks like the issues are not going away, right? Because we're still hearing stories of Atiku Abubakar going to the US and all of that. I mean, what do you make of this strategy of the opposition? Those in the ruling party say enough is enough. Focus on the issues. Don't focus on the personality of the president. He has, in the INEC portal, he put up his BSc from Chicago State University. While you fixated on the primary school, secondary school that he attended, the issue of drug forfeiture has been exhausted all the way to the court. So what are you looking for? That's what some people are saying. So I just want to get your thoughts, your assessment of the strategy of the opposition, the kind of agenda they are setting. Is it a good strategy for them to still be digging up these issues, or should they focus on other, as the ruling party will argue, other important issues like, the policies of the government and programs and what have you? Your thoughts?
Well, like I said before, that when you are as a soldier, when you are going to a war front, you go with everything you think can give you the victory. What the opposition are doing. But let me quickly just talk about, I'm coming back to other area. Let me talk about the certificate issue. I mentioned it that justice is missing in the accord, in the peace accord. If Mr. President presented the primary school, I was listening to Dele Momodu when he was trying to talk on that, on channels. The primary certificate, the secondary certificate, where are they? And that is exactly what we are saying in Nigeria. Where is the justice? That one aside, the politicians in Nigeria, the opposition group, what they need to do now, they are trying to come together. If they can do that, to debase the present government, incumbent government, good.
Your line is really breaking, Professor Ojo. The line is really breaking. It's distorting our communication. Can you hear me now?
And I have not.
Yes.
Yes. And
Okay.
I have not seen Obi stepping down for anybody. But what they need to do, let's see them in a clear note concerning what they have for Nigeria that are better than what we are witnessing now today. That I've not seen in them. Tinubu has not done it well. You are crying foul. What do you want to do differently so that you can have different results, positive results? I think they have less than 4 months now to the election proper. It is high time for them to start dishing out that will surpass that of the Tinubu achievement. They fought certificate issue to the Supreme Court event.
Hello, Prof. We're really hoping to have a seamless conversation with you, but these things happen.
That will cut across all aspects of our life, the health sector, education sector, transportation sector, even judiciary and others.
All right, let's go to Barrister now. Barrister?
Yes. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I think
look, campaign against this government. So many things. I don't know what their spokesperson are doing. Why don't they go for good research?
Okay.
Meet people.
Okay, Prof. There seems to be a delay in your communication with us. Perhaps it's your network. We hope that gets sorted out before we wrap up the conversation with you.
That are ready to vote.
Yeah. Yes.
Let me take it noted at this juncture.
Yes.
That the Osun election has.
Oh. Hello, Professor Ojo. Right. These things happen, you know. There are times when you experience these hitches, but we...
Vote and
Okay. Yes, can you hear me now? It
has been practicalized in Oslo election and it will be practicalized in 2027 election.
Right. Can you hear me now, Professor Ojo? Hello, Prof. Hello, Prof. Are you there? Okay, perhaps we should.
I'm with you. Hello, I'm with you.
So we missed some of the things you said. You know, I think the only thing I could make of it was, you know, that the opposition needs to also go back to the drawing board and concentrate on issues they can use to criticize the government and all of that. That they've exhausted the certificate issue up to the Supreme Court, right? Just so we are clear, before I move on to Barrister, so you can ask this question. Yes. So, Barrister, go ahead.
Yes. Thank you very much. You asked a very, very fundamental question, Toba.
Yeah.
On opposition harping on certificates and the conduct of, you know, the candidates, particularly in the past. And you are asking why they are concentrating on that rather than issues. But I beg to disagree that there are issues that require clarification. And there are issues that are legally permissible. When you go into the Constitution, particularly Section 137 thereof, it provides in 1 sub E, the one that talks about disqualification of a candidate. So if you look at Section 137, subsection 1D, permit me, it provides as follows. If he is under a sentence of death imposed by any competent court of law or tribunal in Nigeria, or a sentence of imprisonment or fine for any offense involving dishonesty or fraud, by whatever name called, or for any other offenses imposed on him by any court or tribunal, or substituted by a competent authority for any other sentence imposed on him by such a court or tribunal. So, the Constitution makes the integrity of the person seeking political office an issue. So it will be wrong to say that those who are challenging Tinubu on the matter he had relating to the forfeiture of monies in the United States is not an issue. The Constitution makes it an issue. And when it comes to issue of perjury, it is a legal issue. If a man says, I attended Aroloya Primary School, I attended Government College Ibadan, I attended Government College Lagos and got a certificate even before that school was established, it is an issue. Okay. It has been made an issue because it borders on perjury.
Right.
So it will be wrong to be saying that they are not issues. They are really issues. They are fundamental issues. And again, I don't think Nigerians are that bothered about certificates. What I think Nigerians are really concerned about is somebody lying that he has what he does not possess. And that makes it an issue. I sincerely hope that those who are the spokesperson for the president will understand this fact and know how to respond appropriately. If a man says, I had BSc economics from the University of Chicago, and then when he was asked to bring it, it turns out again to be Chicago State University and a BSc, not in economics, not in accountancy, but in business administration. And he has been parading himself as an accountant. He has made it an issue. That's the position of the law. I intend this as a comment.
Right. Okay.
You know.
Okay. All right. Oh, all right then. Okay. Let me go back to our guest now. And one of the issues that have also come up that I've noticed as well is the style of communication of this those who are running for office during campaign. This is when you see them sitting by the roadside with a petty trader, a roasted corn seller, a groundnut seller. And all of that, and then you see their communication team roll out these videos. Some of them even start calling themselves that. I remember the Oyo State governorship candidate APM. He says he's a bricklayer. He says the mother is an Elubo seller. Some of them even say they had no shoes when they were in school. Some of them say they have just one house, just one wristwatch. Some of them also try to portray this frugal lifestyle. Why do you think that? Some of these people, regardless of their riches, still feel the need to make us feel like they are, not as profligate or not as wealthy as they are. Is it a kind of strategy that they feel resonates with the people below the ebb, so that people can relate to them and feel like, oh, he's one of us, really? What do you make of this, some of these strategies that their politicians adopt? Because I'm sure you also see some of these videos. That's when they sit down with children of beggars to eat rice. That's when they break fast with some beggars on the street. That's when they eat corn on the street as well. Prof.
Yes. Thank you very much. The politicians, they are set of funny people. And they know what they are doing. Calculatively, they knew quite well that the population of the people that are going to vote lies on the grassroots. Those that are following them, many of them will not vote. Their lieutenants, most of them will not vote. But the grassroots, they are the ones that will vote. If you look at, I'm using Osun as an instance from time to time, that if you look at the people
Perhaps you should change your location, Prof, because there's a lot of distortion here. We're missing out on some of your submissions.
Vote.
Prof, can you hear me? I'm saying that maybe you should change your location. Hello, Prof? Prof. Professor Ojo, I don't know if you can hear me.
What deportably I'm with you.
Yes, please. We are missing out on some of your submissions. Yeah, we are missing out on some of your submissions. Perhaps you should change your location or stay where the reception is better.
I can hear you very
yes. So we are missing out on some of the things. You said you are using Osun as a case study because there were people and then the line went off before it came back again. Hello, can you hear me now? You can go ahead now if you can hear me. Yes.
Said if you look at Osun, if you look at the Osun election critically, you will agree with me that the people that voted mostly, aside from the civil servants in the state, they are mostly petty traders, and they decided to stand by their vote. They defended their vote. Iyike Alakara, or what they call that woman, had the power of the grassroots. And those that she believes strongly they are going to vote against the accord. And they were able to give most of them back to accord. And that is, let me tell you, what led to the defeat of APC in Osun State. The politicians that we have today believe strongly in the power of the grassroots.
Okay.
The only thing is that when they gain the power, when they eventually won, they fail to come back to the grassroots. But as we see in Osun, the grassroots people too decided if you give them money, they will take. If you give them rice, they will take. Give them anything, they will take. But they base their election on the performance. Most of the cities, they are trying to come back now. Trying to encourage the grassroots, giving them this, giving them that.
Right. It's so unfortunate that.
That is not good.
Yeah, we are really missing out. Yes, we're really missing out on your submissions. We're really missing out on your submissions.
So those that are going to petty traders around, it's them that giving themselves. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, we're missing out on a lot of things you are saying. We're missing out on a lot of things. So there's a lot of, distortion from your end. Perhaps it's your reception. So we're really missing out on a lot of things. Yes.
Okay. Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes.
I said the politicians.
Well, perhaps, Prof. Yeah.
Going to the petty traders, going to try to.
Perhaps it's a good time for us to end the conversation with you. We're due for a break anyway. It's so unfortunate that we couldn't have a smooth discussion with you, Professor Ojo. Thank you so much. I mean, even as you're talking now, the distortion is still there. We're due for a break. Thank you so much for joining us on the podium. We appreciate your few submissions. That we're able to grasp on the conversation this morning regarding the style of communication and strategy of politicians as we begin the campaign season ahead of 2027 election. The goal is to ensure that we focus on the issues and whatever agenda is going to be set would not result into violence, religious or ethnic rhetoric as we approach the 2027 elections. Professor Ojo, I don't know if you can hear me now. Just to wrap up with you as we go. Can you hear me now? Right. Okay. Still cannot hear me. Yes. So I'm saying thank you for joining us. Even though the network didn't allow us to have a smooth conversation, but we're still able to grab some of your submissions in the course of the conversation. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us on the podium. So good to have you. Thank you so much. All right. We'll take a short break. When we'll get back, we'll move on to the next segment of the show. You can exit the call now, Prof, and continue the conversation. We're live on Facebook, 32FM 949 FM. Just stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Over the air or over the counter, we're the best medicine you can get.
32 FM 94.9.
Hello, Ibadan. How are my people today? Now, let me ask you a quick question. What makes a good meal truly unforgettable? The answer is simple. Maggi chicken. Whether you're preparing a wedu, gbegiri, buka stew, jollof rice, pepper soup, fried rice, or your favorite local delicacy, one thing remains the same. Maggi chicken brings that rich, delicious chicken taste that everyone loves. It's no surprise that families, home cooks, and food vendors across Nigeria trust Maggi chicken to bring every meal to life. Because when the food tastes better, every moment around the table becomes even more memorable. And here's the exciting news. Because great food brings people together, Maggi Chicken is proud to sponsor 32FM Amala Fest 2026. That's right. It's time to celebrate the rich flavor, culture and tradition that make Yoruba's cuisine so special. That's right. It's time to celebrate the rich flavor, culture and tradition that make Yoruba cuisine so special. Join us for an unforgettable experience filled with delicious amala, ewedu, gbegiri, buka stew, and so much more. There will be exciting games, live entertainment, music, dance, giveaways, and lots of fun for everyone at the Maggi Chicken stand. Come put your cooking skills to the test in the Maggi Chicken cooking competition, where talented home cooks will battle it out for a chance to win exciting household prizes. So, if you can cook, this is your moment to shine. Come with your family, bring your friends, and enjoy a day of great food, great entertainment, and amazing experiences. Don't wait for someone to tell you how much fun they had. Be there and experience it for yourself. Join Maggi Chicken on 29th of August 2026 as we celebrate food, culture, and togetherness that unite us all at this year's 32FM Amala Fest. Remember, every delicious meal deserves the rich chicken taste of Maggi Chicken. Maggi Chicken, rich chicken taste for every meal. Maggi Chicken, me and Maggi, so good together.
Hey there, Ibadan. Something fresh is in the air. Magic system. Can you feel it?
Oh yes, your favorite station just got a brand new home.
This is not a test.
That's right. We've officially moved from 4th floor Cocoa House
To a bigger, better location.
Laughter House, Premier Hill, Mokola, Ibadan. Same energy.
Same great music.
Same 32 FM. We're still bringing you the coolest hits and the conversations you love.
Just now from our new home at Premier Hill, Mokola.
So whether you're tuning in at home, in traffic, or at work,
Don't touch that dial.
new location.
Same great station, 32 FM, filling the world with laughter.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Don't stigmatize any of your opponent. Okay, let's look at the trajectory of the history. I saw one of my opponents now say he will go back to subsidy. I read it. That is demonstration of a serious ignorance on governance and economy. Before I came here, 27 states are unable to pay salaries. Not to even talk of pensioners, salary of workers. In your state, I know a man that raised, who is nicknamed half salary. They come to the federal, cap in hand, unable to do anything. The salary you pay feeds families. Where are the local governments? They are in the states. Where are the concentration of population? They are in the states. Take out the president. Regard every other person as common men. They have families to feed. The infrastructure
you embark upon on the road network, housing, school rehabilitation, hospital, healthcare pronouncement.
Well, that's an excerpt of the president's statement when he met with the re-elected governor of Osun State, Ademola Adeleke. He spoke to his opponent's assessment of the subsidy regime. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, by the way, saying that he would return subsidy. Joining us on the conversation now, virtually, is a member of the All Progressives Congress, APC. He once served as the public secretary of the APC here in Oyo State, Dr. Aziz Olatunde. Dr. Aziz, good to have you. Good morning, sir. Can you hear me? Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, sir. This is Dr. Abdulaziz Olatunde.
Olatunde, thank you so much.
Former public secretary.
Yes, thank you so much. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
All right, so the podium is a panel discussion. We have Professor Remi Ayede, Department of Political Science, University of Ibadan, and Barrister Remi Ogunlola as well. Both of them will be making comments and asking you questions as the conversation progresses. Thank you so much. Okay, so, I mean, let me start with the president's statement regarding Atiku Abubakar. They also say, I mean, even if you disagree with Atiku Abubakar, saying that he's ignorant of the economy and governance is below the belt, really. That we're talking about a former vice president here, because by virtue of his office, the vice president would have held National Economic Council meetings with state governors and all of that. And those in the opposition also say the various economic policies, the appointments made by the former president Olusegun Obasanjo, Atiku was the brain behind some of these things. So how dare you say Atiku is ignorant about the economics and governance simply because he said that, from his assessment, this removal of fuel subsidy is not working. If I get elected, I will bring it back in some kind of way. What's your reaction?
The truth of the matter is that Atiku Abubakar superintend over what you can call the wholesale privatization of the Nigerian economy. And when you look at that, you realize that they came at a time when they had the opportunity of re-engineering the economy of this country. Don't forget that they were the one that took over from the military. And granted that we all believe that military are trained to kill, their best is knowing how to kill. But those of you who felt that you are civilian and you are ready to govern, ordinarily, when you consider some of the companies sold by Atiku, you will realize that sometimes some people don't have the moral ground to criticize some policies in Nigeria. When you now talk of somebody that said, okay, he was the one that said in 2023 that he was going to, they asked him, what is going to happen to this fuel subsidy? He also said he's going to cancel fuel subsidy in 2023. And in fact, Obi also said he's going to cancel fuel subsidy. And Tinubu also said he's going to cancel it. And so Tinubu got there and he canceled fuel subsidy. So God be the glory. We all know that it's not going to be easy. Taking, the breast milk out of a child to win a child before the time. But even Tinubu did not say that it's not going to be painful. We all know it's going to be painful. But they've been trying to do a lot of palliative to make sure that the pain is minimally felt.
Right.
Okay.
Dr. Aziz, if I quickly come in here, Dr. Aziz,
Yeah.
You said that Atiku Abubakar has lost the moral ground to criticize the government, that he said that he was going to remove subsidies. So is it wrong? Is it wrong to have on some policies? I understand, sir. So is it wrong for somebody to say, I'm going to do this, but on second thought, when you realize that if I do this thing, there'll be ripple effects, economic hardship on the people, that why don't I have a rethink? Is it wrong? I would like you to back that up with, your members of your party back then in 2012 protested against this removal of fuel subsidy. But when the president got into office, on second thought, he said, we should remove this thing. So perhaps that's what I think we're saying. Even though he had said in 2023 he was going to remove subsidy, but he has seen that removal of subsidy is going to bring about this ripple effect we are seeing. That's why he's doing like a reversal of that policy. So, I mean, can't we say the same about the president as well, that he was being hypocritical back then in 2012 when people in your party at the time led the protest against removal of subsidy by the Goodluck Jonathan administration?
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Between 2012 and 2023, it's a very long period in the history of the country.
3 years is a long time too. 2023 and 2026.
2012, 2023, you have good 11 years.
Yes.
The indices, the indices that obtained in 2012 surely may not obtain in 2013, talk less of 2023. Now, in 2012, what he saw was not what he saw in 2023. Because at the time 2023 was coming, we realized that Nigeria foreign reserves have been terribly depleted. And there is very, very serious hardship waiting in the wing for Nigeria if we continue without fuel subsidy. If you know what is happening in other countries, you'll be able to appreciate what the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has been able to do. Do you know that today we are still talking of Naira being equal to 1,300 or 1,400? Venezuela is also an oil-producing state. Please Google. You realize that their currency is far, far worse than what obtains in Nigeria.
Is it a fair comparison, Nigeria, Venezuela? Is it a fair comparison given what that country has been through, from Hugo Chavez's death to Nicolas Maduro to the invasion of the country by the U.S. government? The parameters are not the same here.
Wait.
Yes.
Do you know that in 2026 that they went to the World Cup? You have this Senegalese team.
Yes.
That went to the World Cup.
Yes.
Ordinary chefs to cook the food of the player, they could not afford. Why? You see, there are some decisions you have to take that you don't allow a day longer. If you tarry a while to allow a day longer, you might find yourself in trouble. So it's better to do some things and cushion with palliative rather than allowing to pander to public sympathy and allow the people to continue to die in droves. So this is what is happening.
Okay, so but to say the former vice president is ignorant of economic issues and governance, you don't think he's below the belt?
Look, anybody that does not want water to splash into his body does not get to where they are fetching water. If President, do you know that whatever Tinubu, even when Tinubu is not talking, Atiku will find something to say that Tinubu is supposed to talk. So when he even talk, they are waiting for him to talk. And when Tinubu talk, he talks something, Tinubu has the right to equally reply to him. This is political era. INEC has lifted the ban on politics.
Yes.
So whatever he says, let him come and defend what he has to do. This is somebody who said if he gets to power, he is going to do more of privatization for Nigerians. Then what is going to be left for the unborn generation to come and inherit? When we were young, I don't know if you have somebody that is very conversant with what happens in the 70s. I never experienced a power failure. When we were young, do you know that? Okay, let me tell you, when I was in university, I take 10 naira for a week. 10 naira for a week. But for somebody to now say, as you want to bring the economy back to when somebody will be collecting 10 naira in a week again, it's not possible. You look at the situation as it is and address it. So you don't pander to politics to deceive people.
So your argument.
Tinubu is saying,
yes. So your argument, Dr. Aziz, is that. Yes, go ahead.
What Tinubu is telling you is that Atiku and the rest are always fond of deceiving the people just to catch the vote.
Right.
After catching the vote, they will start telling you another story. But Tinubu tells you what he will do.
Okay. So, Dr. Aziz, Dr. Aziz, your argument is that returning to the days of subsidy is not a viable option for Nigeria. That's your argument.
No, is it Tinubu alone that is saying that? Okojo-Iweala said that. Malami Elrufai said that. All the people that are into sound economy were saying that. So is it the idea of Tinubu alone?
Okay, let's go to our panelists. Let's go to Barrister Ogunla. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much, Toba. I once again want to welcome our guest, my good friend. Now, I want to ask you a question, and I want your honest opinion. I hope you are listening to me.
Can you hear our panelists? Can you hear Barrister? Dr. Aziz, can you hear him?
I'm listening, but I'm not hearing properly.
Oh, okay. What about now? Please speak, Barrister, to know if we can hear you. What about now? Can you hear
me properly now?
I'm hearing you, Toba.
Okay. What? Can you hear him? Can you hear him? He wants to ask you.
I'm not hearing him. Let loud the speaker so that I can hear.
Okay. Let me get our studio manager to do that for us. Please hold on. If you can increase the volume. All right. You can speak, Barrister. Let's test it now if we can hear you.
Can you hear me now? Doctor?
Yeah, I'm hearing now.
Oh, beautiful. Because you must hear this question and give me your honest opinion. Now, let us assume that Nigeria is a village. Some people will even call it a village. The village is mosquito infested, resulting in a preponderance of malaria infested victims and a lot of deaths. The government decided to invest in spraying insecticides on stagnant ponds and bushes surrounding the village. Sadly, however, those contracted to bring the chemicals and engage workers to spray the village's bushes and stagnant water to contain the scourge started stealing the money and not doing what they ought to have done based on their contract. And many people continue to contract malaria, and many people continued to die. Now, government decided to stop the contract because of the corruption of the people who were contracted. It now decided to build more hospitals to take care of malaria victims and so on and so forth. In your own honest view, which of the two alternatives, if you were president, would you prefer?
Okay, Dr. Aziz, did you get the question?
If I can get your question right, let me repeat. Where you think I didn't get it, you can just let me know. He said that the village is mosquito infested. They contracted to some people to spray the bushes and the drains to check the incubation of the mosquito larva, right? But unfortunately, the people contracted sold the fund, and the government decided to build something extra. Or probably you say, I don't get the other one. They build more hospitals,
the government now decided to terminate the contract and instead decided to invest the money by building hospitals to take care of the people. So I am asking, if you were the president, which of the two alternatives would you take? Terminate the contract of those who are spraying the bushes and the stagnant ponds to prevent the larvae from, graduating to mosquitoes, or you will invest in building hospitals?
Look, if I happen to be the one in government, I will take the two options at the same time. Because while you are trying to prevent, you want to cut the vector cycle, you also want to treat the people involved. I will not be so naive to say I want to only spray the bushes and only if the people that are stealing the fund are stealing the fund, I will stop the contract, re-award for other people, because they are not the only one that should be able to know how to spray. But at the same time, those people that are already contracted the malaria, you cannot ignore them, because that would be very naive of any government to leave the people that have already contracted the malaria and say you want to spray the bush. You are spraying the bush to prevent of the spread. Likewise, you have to equally treat those. So I will not take one option. I will not take one option in this situation. You are painting it.
You have answered my question. The example I gave is the example of the subsidy. But I am so happy that you, as an APC member, is saying that you would not have stopped the subsidy completely. You would have gone after the thieves, while at the same time, you are investing on other things that would necessarily follow, like the building of hospitals. So in a sense, you have also condemned the action of your party at the federal level for completely stopping the subsidy.
They are not related at all. I have not. They are not related at all. Mosquito. I mean, listen. Subsidy is a nebulous contract. Mosquito of a thing you are talking about is a very feasible, apparatchik. It's a very feasible apparatchik. The subsidy of a thing you are seeing is a thing that have been given out to people. Look, wait. We are talking. Look, we all went to school now. You have to allow me to respond to your contribution.
Yes. Go ahead.
Do you know that the former World Bank head came when Jonathan was in power, and the people in power with Jonathan refused to allow the Minister for Economy and Foreign and Coordinating Minister for Economy. They refused to allow him to see the president simply because they felt they wanted to stop subsidy. And what did these people say? They said a lot of people just empty vessel. They don't bring any oil. They don't bring any petroleum. It's just a case of just sign the paper, share the money. So what you are talking about is not related at all.
Okay.
We are talking of people that have mosquito invested in a place. Yes, you treat that.
Okay. Barrister, please hold that thought. Please hold that thought, Barrister. We need to check this.
I don't know you are a lawyer. A lawyer, that's the way you do your way to be able to deceive the judges.
Okay. All right. So let's pump the brakes. Let's pump the brakes a little. Let's pump the brakes. We're due for a commercial break now. When we'll get back, we'll continue the conversation. If you're just joining us, our guest is Dr. Azeez Olatunde, former Public Secretary of the All Progressives Congress (APC) and Oyo State. We're discussing different issues of national importance as we head to the 2027 election. Campaign season have started already, so you can expect this kind of thorny conversation. I mean, there's a lot that's going to come in the next couple of months till January, as a matter of fact. Certainly. So, let's take this commercial break. When we get back, continue the conversation. We also have Professor Remi Ayede on the call. He'll be asking his own question and making his comment after this break. Do stay with us. We'll be back in a moment.
Stay tuned to 32 FM 94.9.
Before, my family can go 1 week without drama. 1 week, one wahala. Maggie, oh, love, me and Maggie. together. Yeah. Okay, now my Maggie make it right. Come with piece of peace. Oh no, come at all, oh, before. Maggie, love, oh, me and Maggie so good together. Me and Maggie so good together.
Say after me. Millions of naira shall locate us as we take part in the Milo Text and Win promo.
Millions of naira shall locate us as we take part in the Milo Text and Win promo.
Get texting. More than 2 million people will share billions in cash and prizes, including 6 brand new cars. Buy any 20-gram Milo promo sachet. Find a unique code inside. Then dial star 8011 star 4 hash or scan the QR code on the pack and you could win big. Buy more, win more. Promo starts July 1st to October. Milo.
Home is where we find comfort in hearts that love that's shared.
Shared meals like delicious jollof and chicken.
Made with hunger. Home is hearts and bellies filled with sizzling chicken stew, 𝐓𝐿 𝐹orivo, jollof rice, pepper soup, proper banga and starch with fresh fish made with hunger.
That's why we say, let's go home. There's food at home.
Enjoy the taste of home with the newly improved 𝐒𝐲𝐿 chicken flavor cube.
The taste of home.
tó èyí la fi ń kí gbogbo àwọn èèyàn wa tán wà lórí ìjókòó àkókò ti tó láti gé àkàrà òyìnbó fún ìgbéyàwó tòní.
ètò ìgbéyàwó láyé.
ẹ jọ̀wọ́ ẹ dúró náà jàre.
kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
kí wọ́n tó so wá pọ̀ ǹjẹ́ o rántí pé o ṣèlérí tẹlifíṣàn fún mi fíríìjì ńkọ́ ẹ̀rọ ìfọṣọ kí iṣẹ́ ìléwọ́ máa fọwọ́ fọṣọ ńlẹ̀ ní 2026.
ní tòótọ́.
káṣá sọ pé o ti rà wọ́n àbí.
ta ló tiẹ̀ sọ pé mo gbọ́dọ̀ ra gbogbo àwọn nǹkan yìí lẹ́ẹ̀kan ṣo níbi tí CDK wà.
èwo ló tún jẹ́ CDK báyìí.
bẹ́ẹ̀ ni o CDK ẹ lè ra fíríìjì yín ẹ̀rọ ìfọṣọ àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
ká kúkú wá gbà pé gbogbo àwọn nǹkan wọ̀nyí ti wà nínú ilé rẹ lọ́wọ́lọ́wọ́ bá ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yìí àbí.
láti oṣù tó kọjá ni mo ti ra wọn.
olùṣọ́ àgùntàn ẹ so wá pọ̀.
pẹ̀lú CDK o lè ra fóònù tẹlifíṣọ̀n ẹ̀rọ amúnáwá tó ń lo agbára ìtànsán àga àti ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn nǹkan mìíràn sanwó díẹ̀díẹ̀ láìsí èlé owó lórí ọjà tó bá rà lọ́dọ̀ wa download CDK lórí Play Store àti Apple Store.
ọ́fíìsì wa wà ní Mọ́kọ́lá road ní Vetinary bus stop àti àpáta ẹ lè pè wá sórí 0707 460 3911.
CDK san díẹ̀díẹ̀ gbẹ̀gbẹ̀ ayé ìrọ̀rùn.
gágàgà.
Ganusi.
gbogbo ọ̀yà ní pẹ́rẹ́ lódù ṣùgbọ́n ọjọ́ tí ọ̀yà tó jẹ́ odù ọ̀yà bá farahàn á rí pẹ̀lú àpẹẹrẹ ní. Ganusi aba mixture àgbà ògùn amárasọjí tá a fògidì ewé àtẹgbò ṣe yọ̀ lọ́tínú. Ganusi faraba wo dẹ̀gbẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ń gùnfẹ̀ ní tẹ̀lé. Ganusi aba mixture ni ó gbẹlura bínú kó tinú ń kún gbòdògbòdò tí san ara gbogbo fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ pé torí kéríkì ara ń roni láti jókòó dìde fúyàwó àdàgìrasẹ ọ̀n rẹ̀ sanra díẹ̀ nu yà sàwárí egbòogi Ganusi aba mixture bó o sì fẹ́ dalábùkù lọ́dọ̀ olólùfẹ́ rẹ̀ bọ́ba dẹrẹ́ alẹ́ Ganusi aba mixture inú gbẹlura ẹran rẹ̀ ó sì lẹ́kan sí lórí òkèlè gẹ̀dẹ̀gẹ̀dẹ̀ ara fífọ̀ dànù mára fúyẹ́ Ganusi aba mixture ńlá gbadé fún o tó bá rẹ ní 60 ọdún tó tún bọ́ ọmọdé níyàwó tára rẹ̀ tún ta kutukutu irúfẹ́ Ganusi aba mixture ńlọ gbẹlura Ganusi aba mixture ó tún wà káàkiri ilé ìtajà oògùn àti lágbẹni káríkárí a sì ń wá alágbàtà jákèjádò lẹ Nàìjíríà Ganusi aba mixture Faskani Nigeria Enterprises ló ṣe é ìdojúkọ NNPC filling station lẹ́gbẹ̀ẹ́ bíríìjì ọlọ́nkẹ́mi Lagos Ìbàdàn expressway ńbàdàn ló wà tẹlifon 08081689617 08081689617 Ganusi lo kara o ta kebe.
gágàgà. Ganusi.
wọ́n tún bẹ̀rẹ̀ n ò lè ṣaláì má panilẹ́rìn lákòókò àpéjọpọ̀ ìtakùrọ̀sọ orí ìlà mọ̀lẹ́bí mi. ó tiẹ̀ da ohun tí gbogbo wọn nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ni mò ń sè. ó náà ni àmì ìdánimọ̀ mi ti ṣe Maggi native jollof rice. ìtọ́wò ẹ̀ kan lásán àròyé kankan ò sí lẹ́yìn ẹ̀.
Maggi Star tá a ṣe látara ẹ̀wà sóyà àlùbọ́sà adùn chili àti kànáfùrù.
oúnjẹ alẹ́ ti délẹ̀ ẹ máa bọ̀ jẹ́jẹ́ tàbí kí ẹ má wá rárá.
Maggi Star yóò sọ gbogbo oúnjẹ tá a ṣe dohun àrà ọ̀tọ̀ yóò sì tún sọ àkókò náà dàkókò mánigbàgbé.
Ibadan Amala Fest 2026 is here. Let's eat and celebrate. When the rhythm drops, the taste buds dance. The biggest celebration of our heritage is back. 32 FM 94.9 proudly presents the Ultimate Food Festival, Amala Fest 2026, the second edition. Mark your calendars. Get ready for an explosion of culture, music, and endless flow of authentic Amala. Whether you like it dark and rich or light and fluffy, we've got you covered. Paired with the ultimate soup combinations, ewedu, begiri, ila, and rich eforivo. And let's not forget the assorted proteins freshly cooked meat, tender pomo, and savory fish, all swimming in mouth-watering stew. Taste the best from the most legendary Amala spots across the region, from Bibi Ray Food Canteen to the famous Iya Dija Alamala Adeoyo and the iconic Iya Oyo Alamala Gbaremu Market, and so many more. But wait, there's more. Show us what you've got in our exciting food challenges, the ultimate Amala Eater, who can finish a mountain of Amala in record time, the Amala Pounding Master, the ultimate test of strength for the best texture, the fast-eating champion, speed, precision, and pure appetite. To participate, pick up your form at Laughter House, Mokola, Ibadan. Venue for the event, the Recreation Club, opposite Adamasiba, Ibadan. Date, August 29th, 2026. Come ready to eat, laugh, and celebrate the rich taste of Yoruba culture. Get your tickets now at Laughter House for just 3,000 Naira, or call us directly on 0806 218 5194. Amala Fest 2026, proudly sponsored by Regal and Maggie. Me and Maggie, so good together.
FM 94.9.
Welcome back. The Podium on 32 FM 94.9. Our guest this morning is Dr. Azeez Olatunde, member of the All Progressives Congress, APC. Was once the publicity secretary of the party here in Oyo State. As I mentioned, campaign season has started, so it's time for us as people to start questioning various political parties as their candidates regarding their scorecard and the plans they have for us if elected in 2027. We're live on Facebook, by the way, 32FM 949 FM. Go there, like, share, and drop your comment on the video. So, Doctor, thank you for staying with us. Welcome back. Can you hear me?
Thanks for having me.
Good to have you. So let's go to Professor Ayede now to also ask his question and make his comments. Prof, you have the floor, sir. Yes, sir.
Let me welcome and talk one more time. I think that it seems that the problem around the subsidy is not peculiar in terms of wastages, in terms of leakages, in terms of corruption and all of that. And the major policy that the current government introduced to ameliorate the consequences of subsidy, itself became a victim of the same kind of corruption associated with the subsidy. I mean, take the social investment programs, right from the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs. We have had to deal with the same problem. So can we therefore say that the president has succeeded in dealing with the social policy consequences or the welfare consequences of the removal of the subsidy?
All right, Doctor.
Is that all, sir?
Yes, that's his question, yes.
How about you help me, to complete, because I didn't get the closing chapter of the question. I heard Prof saying that the humanitarian affairs minister that was sacked, that the president sacked him, that we now say that the president has succeeded in tackling the corruption. I think that was what I heard.
Yes. Prof, does that summarize your question? Does this capture the question?
I didn't quite get him clearly.
Perhaps you could relay the question so we can hear you. Perhaps you could relay it.
So what I said was that if we remove subsidy because we want to address the corruption so that we can free money, and then we saw that the money from subsidy would have to be utilized to address poverty-related issues, i.e. social investment. But the same problem that bestruggled the subsidy regime, I also find its head even in the social investment programs. As we see in the corruption that has engulfed the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs that is supposed to deal with that. And on top of that, the federal government also gave a lot of money on that investment to either politicians, that is members of the National Assembly, or the governors. And at the end of the day, it didn't get down to the ordinary poverty-stricken Nigerians. So I'm asking, what is then the benefit of removal of subsidy if the government cannot tackle corruption, the government cannot effectively deliver on the goods, the services that it has promised to render, especially to poor people. So I think that the incompetency that has surrounded the previous government around that regime, the subsidy regime, was only shifted to other areas once there was no longer subsidy. So no matter how you look at it, Nigerians didn't actually gain anything. They are suffering worsening, and poverty has increased. So,
well, Prof, I want to guess that you are an academician.
You,
and I think that you agree with me that the 𝐃𝐈𝐒 fund that has been channeled to over 1.something million of students across our higher institutions, universities, polytechnics, and college of educations. I guess that the prof is not unaware that a lot of the student school fees are being paid, and not only paying their school fees, they are being given some kind of a monthly stipend to assist them, to cope with the demand of their their personal needs. Not only that, the president has been able to reroute some of the withdrawn subsidy in one, because the question you put, I think, very, very good. But I think the president has said it many times that we need to be able to ask questions from our governors. We need to be able to ask questions from our local government chairmen. The governor and the chairman of local government are the greatest beneficiary because the president believes they are the one very close to the people. If we withdraw the money from very few, because when you are talking of the subsidy regime, you are talking of, you can count them. You can count them, those that are involved in the subsidy fraud. You can count them. I guess they may not be more than 1,000. But with the 774 local governments that our constitution recognizes and 36 governors and the FCT minister, you agree with me that if the people's poverty has increased, I think it will be very funny to me if you are tracing the blame to the president for taking the bold step that some people have been afraid of taking and now reroute the money back through the people that people elected. Do you know that the governors were elected? And those that elected them, if they are only good at thumb printing on election day and they cannot ask questions, look, the federal allocation for this, for the month of July has just been released. And if I'm going to be very frank with you, it's very funny to me that for the month of that July allocation, I got to know that, for instance, my Oyo State, that used to be on 4 million when Ajimobi was in power, took 4 billion, took 32 billion for the month of July. So if the government of Tinubu has increased the revenue dramatically, what percentage can you give to that? From 4 billion to 32 billion.
Okay.
Osun, when Aregbesola was here, used to be on 2.53 billion. To God be the glory, Osun for July collected 20 billion. 20 billion. Let me just stop at that.
Okay, so Dr. Aziz, let me come in here. There are those who have questioned this strategy of, okay, as you said, rerouting the money through the state governor. Do you think it's a good strategy? Because the people are the ones feeling the brunt of this subsidy removal.
Who are the ones governing? Answer that question.
Hold on, doctor. They're also arguing that, the federal government is just deflecting and trying to pass the buck to the state government, that there are ways you can channel this money so that people can actually feel the impact of this fund to show where this fund. Because if you're saying that the revenue allocation has increased, I mean, the revenue allocation is a statutory allocation that is required by law to be paid into this coffers of the state government. It's not like you're doing them a favor. They are entitled to it, right? Because the money is supposed to be shared by the subnationals.
That language, I want you to please withdraw it.
What language is that?
Withdraw that statement that you are doing a favor for. Before Tinubu came to power, 27 states were unable to pay salaries.
Right.
27 states were not able to pay salaries.
But your state
Today, they are paying not only pay salary, they are doing capital projects.
Yes.
Look, if you want to tell me that the government is not doing them before, then let them continue to be borrowing to pay salary.
So is it fair to blame state governors for the current issues that we're facing? Because state governors are not responsible for fiscal and monetary policies. Yes.
Listen.
Go ahead.
Listen.
Go ahead.
If the people are feeling the brunt of the poverty,
yes,
they should go and hold their governors responsible.
Okay, hold on.
Dr.
Aziz, I just want to make this point because governors are not responsible for fiscal and monetary policies, right? Governors are not responsible for tax reform. Governors are not responsible for some of these things, right? And these are the issues that people are facing. These are the issues that have caused inflation, that have impacted on the cost of living for many people. So there are those who argue that blaming state governors for this is kind of deflecting. And you mentioned that some states were unable to pay salaries. But there were states who were still able to pay these salaries even in those times, right? For example, before President Tinubu came into power, there are workers that you talk to here in your state that they give kudos to the governor. They say, the salary payment is prompt. They say he has even cleared, the backlog of pension and all of that he met from the Ajimobi administration. That was even before subsidy was removed in the first place. Because you made reference, I know you are not your state man, so you are very familiar with the stories. One of the things that people hailed him for, even in his first term, was the prompt payment of salary before Tinubu came in. So what's different here?
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
Before Tinubu came, your state during the time of Ajimobi was on 3.54. Anytime we have 4.2, we celebrate. When Ajimobi left, Oyo State marginally improved from 3.5 during the time of Buhari to 5 billion, 5.5. It was within the precinct of that 5 billion, 6 billion that they were getting from Buhari that they were paying the little they were paying. And don't forget, I must be very, very clear with you people here.
Yes. I
want to say this, that during the time of Ajimobi, from 2013, the allocation that used to be 3.24 billion dropped marginally to 1.2. Go and Google it. From 2013, that all the money Ajimobi felt he saved, he wanted to convert to capital project. He had to stop capital project so that he can be using some of the money he had budgeted for capital project to augment what the government was taking then. And do you know what happened then? When some people were not able to pay full salary, they were paying half salary, Ajimobi called the labor and they agreed that, come, this is what we are taking. The government does not go to collect the money from Abuja. The Commissioner of Finance does not go there. It is the civil servant that go there. You know what you bring. What do we do? It was there they said, even if it is only 3 months, we can add together to pay 1 month's salary, they will take. And that was what brought about what we call the Paris Fund. And when you now have the Paris Fund and all those, whatever, it was all those that Governor Ajimobi used to make sure that the pensioners and what have you, were moved and seriously moved away from being old. Yeah, you remember that at a time when the allocation improved, Governor Ajimobi was paying them 2 months, 3 months salary. And we realized that when we were making noise then, that people were collecting 2-3 months salary. The person came to us to beg. Because they owe some people, but they said immediately we go on here and we announce that Ajimobi are only we are putting pressure on them. But we didn't mind them. because we know when they were not being paid, they were making the noise. So when they are being paid, it's now our turn to almost also make the noise. So when you are talking of that Makinde was not owing them, yes, it was some of the work and effort of the Ajimobi people when they were in power that rub off on him. And not only that, when Ajimobi left the government, Ajimobi never had the kind of money I know Makinde was collecting as at 2021. And the catapulting, what would the catapulting, the windfall started when Tinubu came in 2023. They said I was on 5 billion, 5.5, started earning 27, 28. And what he was saying there was we should not help him to put pressure on him. And we were being very loyal to that because my own politics does not revolve around, creating insurrection with the government of the day.
Right.
I believe that the government should be able to be open to the people.
Right.
If it does not tell them, anytime you people ask me what was Oyo State collecting, then I say go and ask the governor.
Okay.
Not that I don't have the record.
Okay.
I have the record, but I refuse to say it because I don't want to put unnecessary pressure on the government.
Okay.
Because I would not like that if anybody is doing that to us.
Dr. Aziz, so I understand your line of argument that it is the governors, but another leg of it is, what Mr. Taiwo Yedele explained a few days ago about how the subsidy money has been channeled. He talked about salary payment. He also talked about NEL fund, which you alluded to. And the argument I've heard from people, from students is, how can you say you're giving a student loan when before the government came in, school fees was a certain amount. Now school fees have skyrocketed across universities in the country.
Is the Ajimobi that skyrocketed?
No. I'm saying generally speaking, not the states now. I'm speaking about NEL fund generally. I'm not talking about
I say is it Tinubu that scared they should skyrocket the school
because
fees?
they narrow it down to the economic policies of the government, which has led to high cost of living and inflation in the country.
Listen, Toba.
Yes.
Do you ask yourself why there was no strike again in the universities?
Our prof is here. He can tell us why. Okay, go ahead, Dr. Aziz.
Let the prof answer now.
Yes.
Why there was no strike again? It is because before Tinubu came, the university teachers were arguing that they were not being paid all their research grants, this and that, that there are a lot of demand. But Tinubu now said, no problem, everybody should charge what is going to be okay for them in their various institutions.
Right.
And all of them jack up their school fees. And the government was paying. And if the government was paying, and nobody is crying or nobody is going on strike again, I think we should give credit to Bola Ahmed Tinubu rather than
Okay, let me go to Prof. Since you have said that, Prof is here. He can easily fact check for us. That's his constituency. That is his domain.
Yeah.
Prof, are you there?
Good is here.
Prof. Hello, Prof.
I'm right here.
Yes. So he says that there are no more strikes because Tinubu is here. ASU is satisfied. He's paying all their grants. He now asked them, charge whatever you want to charge.
That is what we are saying.
Yes. Hold on, Dr. Aziz. So
you should give a clap to Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Yes.
Hold
on, Dr. Aziz. Let me give Prof the proper background. So he's saying that he has told universities to charge whatever it is they want to charge, and they jacked up the prices. That this is not on President Tinubu, contrary to what people are saying. So, Prof, what exactly is happening? ASU is not going on strike. Universities are satisfied.
Yeah, but the strike is always hovering in the sky, and you also know that early in the year we went on a strike. Was it last year around November, December? We went on a 1-week strike, and we had to call it off. There's been a negotiation with ASU, but it's not completely gone. I can tell you that as I'm here talking to you, some of my colleagues sleep in the office because they can't pay the transport fare every day to the office. Some don't even come every day to the office because their salaries are still so low. The transportation takes over probably 70% of their salaries, especially those who are the lower cadre. But I can tell you that those of us who are professors are a little bit better because of the allowance called Qatar, which makes some difference. So the salary differential is actually very huge, and the lower cadre is very unattractive, and a lot of people, in the middle and lower levels of teaching still are still living inside poverty. So the idea that strike has gone is not quite gone. And if you read the dailies, you will see they're always threatening one strike or the other. Recently, again, the non-academic staff also were threatening strike. But let me also tell you that we already suffered strike fatigue before this government came. And we are a little bit much more careful because the effect that our colleagues suffered under strike was so huge. In fact, we lost a large number of people, especially professors, who died, during those strikes. And when people consider it as a punishment. So there has been this option of many people leaving the university rather than continue with strike. So it's a very dicey situation that we are in, very difficult to manage.
All right.
So we don't know what the future holds, but nothing has been resolved.
Prof, let me just put this one very quickly so you can clarify. It says we should not blame the president for the hike in tuition fees. He was the one that asked universities to charge what they what they feel is sufficient for them. That's why there's this hike. Because the question I asked him is, the critics of this NEL fund say, how do you give students loans when school fees have skyrocketed? But he says it's on the universities, not on the president.
Well, I think that the fees are not really economic fees. If you compare to what goes on in the private universities, we don't charge as much as 50% of what is charged because we ourselves we are not supportive of hiking school fees. ASU does not think that is necessary. We think that the government should be able to afford the education. Now, if you come to the university, especially public university, you will know what we mean by poverty. It's as if what the government gives with one hand, it takes through another hand. Take, for instance, the student loan that we are talking about. How much do they give students as upkeep allowance per month? And remember, it's a loan that they are supposed to eventually pay back. So you ask yourself, what is actually the benefit? So I think government has been playing games with the university system, creating more universities, making universities available everywhere, sending lecturers team. It's only, I think, since last year, they've even given us the opportunity to begin to recruit. Otherwise, the universities were almost empty of lecturers. So we do have those problems. And you can go to many universities, especially private ones, ask how many lecturers do they have? How many qualified people are actually in the university? So there's a real problem that has not been addressed, but they've been playing all kinds of games, trying to avoid strike as if avoiding strike is the target of government. What about quality education? What about proper funding of university? What about university infrastructure? Go to the universities and see the state of disrepair of most hostels and accommodation and all of that. Now, I'm not saying that the government should be blamed for everything. We can also talk about poor governance within the university system. But the government should not think that it has triumphed over strike, that the university are now on a stable calendar. I think they've just been dancing around, postponing the evil day.
Let me go to Barrister now. Barrister?
Thank you very much. I want to make two comments before I ask a wonderful guest my question. And my first comment, I think our guest was most unfair in his comparison between the government of Ajimobi and Seyi Makinde. During Ajimobi, 300 naira will buy $2 or more. During Seyi Makinde, 300 naira cannot buy $1. Then, second comment, NEL fund is another way of government, Tinubu's administration, deflecting its responsibilities, because the incidence of the financial burden of education was wholly transferred to parents and their children who are still learning to walk. Because like my noble prof said, the money being given to them by NEL fund is not free. It is a debt that has to be paid. So in other words, government is no longer funding education, or it is no longer directly funding education. It has transferred the incidence of the cost of education to parents and their children. Those are the two comments I want to make. Now, let me ask my question. My wonderful brother from APC. Nigeria's total public debt is the combined stock of debt managed by the Debt Management Office for the federal government and the 36 states of the federation, plus FCT. This public debt is made up of domestic debt and external debt. Now, the president wants us to celebrate when he said the governors now get more money and no longer borrow money to pay salaries and pensions. True. But rather than decrease our debt burden increased from 78.3 trillion naira to 157.3 million naira. So, what have we gained? Because one would have thought that that defense from the presidency would make more meaning if it meant that our debt burden has been lowered. But rather than that, from 78.3 trillion to 157.3 trillion in 3 years, the presidency appears to have taken over the borrowing power of states and concentrated everything in the center. So, in terms of debts, what have we gained?
Okay, so Dr. Aziz, we have about 2 minutes left on the call, so you can respond to the issue raised by our panelists. Dr. Aziz?
Please, I want to have the name of the lawyer again.
Yomi Ogunlola.
Which party is Yomi Ogunlola defending? Which political party?
I don't know. Please answer that, barrister.
Let him answer me now.
Hello, barrister.
Which political party are you defending?
God bless you. I don't belong to any of the political parties.
But your question is partisanship. Okay, let me just answer the question straight away because of the time.
Let me answer
the
you.
debt body. Listen. Wait now. The debt burden of America. Can you tell me,
America. I'm asking about Nigeria.
Can you tell me the debt burden of America?
Why am I an American? I'm asking you about Nigeria.
Okay. Let's allow Dr. Aziz to answer the question. Dr. Aziz, please answer the question because we have very little time to go.
Let me just tell Barrister Yomi Ogunlola or whatever, the lawyer in the short word, that what Nigeria wanted is good living. And how you are going to give the people good living is what matters. And Barrister Yomi, you are aware that today a Congo of rice is no more than 2,000 naira. Before Tinubu came, a Congo of rice was in the region of 3,000, 3,500. Likewise, the beans, the garri, everything is coming down. A government is only as relevant as how it can feed, clothes, and provide the basic necessity for the people. Not all those bogus question of the dead body rises. What concerns the ordinary man with all those bogus dead body?
Okay, Dr. Aziz, but just staying with your line of thought. Using
question.
Barrister.
Second, just a minute.
Yes.
And it is complete falsehood to say that before Tinubu came, a Congo of rice was the price you mentioned. That's a lie. Rice before Tinubu came was in the region of 15 to 20,000 naira a bag.
Unfortunately,
so a Congo is sold for what you pay.
Oh God!
That's not true.
Barrister, you need to go and do your research properly.
Okay, unfortunately,
these days, I think
Dr.
the
Aziz,
two of us have to go to the studio and face ourselves.
Okay, I look forward to that day. Dr. Aziz, and I hope that,
I hope that
the roof of this building will not come down on that day. Hopefully it will come down.
I want to see him and I meet him because he's quoting bogus things.
Okay.
I go to the market.
Okay.
What you don't do. I go to the market.
Okay, Dr. Aziz.
Things.
Dr. Aziz. Before you go, in 10 seconds, you said that the common man is not concerned about the debt management office, the figures and all of that. What they're concerned about is the food in their belly. Just very quickly, do you think the government is doing a good job, regarding that? That if you ask the average man on the street that before Tinubu came in, now that Tinubu is in, can you feed yourself easily? How easy is it for you to feed yourself once a day, two times a day, 3 times a day? How easy is it for you to pay your rent? How easy for you to get by, transport fare? Do you think that what do you think would be the assessment of that average man that you talked about, that you said does not care about debt management figures? What do you think would be his assessment, if you were to ask him on the street?
Let me
in 20 seconds.
I love IBB for one thing.
Yes.
He said Nigerians were very guilty of intellectual laziness. I want to allow you not to be in that group of intellectual lazy people. Go to the market, go and do ombudsman. Go and ask people that question, not me.
Because you have said it. No, you have said that the government is doing a good job. You have said the government is doing a good job. That the living condition of an average Nigerian. You've said
what the president is doing is okay.
Yes.
Go to the market and ask the people and confirm if what I'm saying is right or not.
Because what the people are saying is that things are harder now than they were before. Rent is more expensive. Food is more expensive. Transport is more expensive. That's what people are saying.
In 1964,
yes,
that was the music. In 1984, 20 years after, that was the music by Station. In 1990 something, that was the music. Every musician in every decade always say Nigeria living is very dangerous. Even Collins sang the song in 1982. So it is not as if anybody has sang Nigeria has been so good.
Right.
It will always be like that until the world will come to an end.
Okay, thank you, doctor. I mean, like I said, we're in campaign season. We expect things like this to still come up. But thank you. I look forward to having you in the studio physically with Barrister. And like I said, hopefully the roof will not come down that day. But thank you very much, our panelists. Thank you, dear listener, for joining us on the podium. The podium returns on Wednesday, 11 to 12. And of course, every Saturday, 9 to 11. My name is OLORUNTOBA YUSUF. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday morning. Bye for now.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the guest analyst and do not necessarily reflect the recommendations or perspectives of 32 FM 94.9 Ibadan.
32 FM 94.9, filling the world with laughter.
Please listen to this public service announcement. Ibadan, are you ready? Something big and massive is opening soon at Palms Shopping Mall located on MKO Abiola Way, Ring Road. Sinomat Superstore is taking over, a world-class Chinese store with over 7,000 plus square meters of shopping paradise with all household items.
ètò ọjà dọ́là tó já wípé ibẹ̀ láti ń gbé ọ̀rọ̀ ọjà ó ń dipọ́ ń dìjà láàrin wa síra wa ìgbà àtàbúrò ọ̀rẹ́ àtọ̀rẹ́ èdè òyera mọ́ kò sí bá a ṣe jọ ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ mọ́ síbẹ̀ mọ́ láàrin ọ̀gá àtọmọṣẹ́ láàrin ọmọ sóbì. Zero 07055 Odometa 949. Zero 9062 Odometa 949. tààrà ló wọlé sórí ètò láàárọ̀ òní. Tá lọ̀rọ̀ jọ dà yín pọ̀, tá lọ̀rọ̀ jọ ń ṣe bí ìjà láàrin yín síra yín, ẹ̀yìn tẹ́ fi agbègbèsẹ̀ lórí ẹ̀ ká gbọ́, ká gbìyànjú lórí ẹ̀. Àwọn nọ́mbà tá a lè pè sínú 09062 odometa 949 àti 07055 odometa 949.